Sharon, thank you so much for that. What a special privilege and personal pleasure it is for me to have been able to share this stage with such a distinguished cohort of past AJC national presidents and their families' representatives so that we can honor their leadership for which so many of us here were and remain the beneficiaries of all of that work. What a special treat. It is no less a privilege and a pleasure for me to welcome all of you to our 2026 AJC Global Forum. In this consequential moment for our people, for our country, and for our future, I am deeply, sincerely grateful to each of you for making the commitment to give of your time, your resources, and your hearts to come here to our nation's capital, to gather, to listen, to learn, to share, to advocate, to challenge, to laugh, to worry, to hug, and most importantly, to stand together, firmly resolved that in this 250th year of our nation and the 120th year of the American Jewish Committee, we will not cede our rightful place in our communities or in the American experiment to others who might seek to marginalize us or do us harm. Our destiny, together with all the obligations and the opportunities attendant to it, is in our hands. And I look very forward to joining with each of you over the course of the next 2 days to engage in a host of high-level presentations and discussions which will help inform and recharge us as effective advocates so that we can feel ever more confident and energized to help shape our destiny. For now, though, I have the distinct honor of helping to kick off our Global Forum by welcoming two genuine heroes to our stage. I know I don't have to remind anyone in this room that when we gathered for our AJC Global Forum 2025 just a year ago, we were emotionally consumed by the tragic fact that 59 hostages were still being held captive by Hamas and by the other terror groups in Gaza. We declared then, as we did every single day since Hamas's horrific attack on October 7th, that the Jewish people would not be whole until every last hostage was returned home. And we pledged that AJC would not rest until that result was achieved. In the months which followed our last Global Forum, more hostages were released, some returning alive to their grateful and joyful families, and others, of course, brought home for a dignified burial. And who among us will forget that moment on January 26th of this year when our prayers were answered when the remains of the final hostage were finally returned home to Israel. They were all finally home. That moment marked the closing of a chapter which I think for so many of us had consumed our emotions and had indelibly etched into our existence, an experience whose resonance likely will stay with us for the rest of our lives. The anguish, the pain, and the uncertainty of so many months, accompanied subsequently by the relief and by the tears of sadness and joy when all the hostages were finally freed. As I look back on this event, I am beyond proud of the way that AJC mobilized our global network, particularly our team in Washington, to elevate the voices of the hostage families and former hostages with elected officials in the halls of power in our communities, across our nation, and truly worldwide. And among these hostages were two whose names surely are familiar to most of us, Keith and Aviva Siegel, two Captivity survivors who share a deeply personal connection with AJC by virtue of the fact that Keith and Aviva are the aunt and uncle of Emily Wesolowski, a former AJC colleague and a friend to so many of us on our staff. We remember well how following her release after 51 days of captivity herself, Aviva became the tireless and relentless advocate for Keith and for his freedom, an effort which AJC was just so proud to help support alongside Aviva by joining with Aviva, Emily, and their extended family to press for Keith's release. Those two were finally reunited when Keith was released after the unimaginable passage of 484 days, following which the two of them continued to fiercely advocate for the return of all the remaining hostages. So Aviva, Keith, Emily, and their family will always be a part of our AJC family. And I say with great sincerity that it brings us off-the-charts happiness to have them all here with us today. If you'll indulge me for just a moment to allow for a quick personal reflection, along my own AJC journey, leadership journey, and owing to some of the positions that I've held over the years, like many of you in this room, I have been beyond privileged to have had the opportunity to interact with political, diplomatic, or thought leaders whose personal qualities I found to be quite impressive. But I must tell you that to me, when it comes to sheer courage, tenacity, and resilience, I know a few in whose company I will be prouder to stand than the two individuals who honor us with their presence here today. So please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Aviva and Keith Siegel.
Thank you, Bobby. Good evening. Shalom, AJC family. Tonight is a very special moment of closure for Aviva and myself. On October 7th, Aviva and I were kidnapped from our home in kibbutz Kfar Aza, our peaceful kibbutz, while 62 of our friends and neighbors were being kidnapped, injured, and murdered. Terrified, Aviva and I were taken into Gaza. When Aviva was released after 51 days in captivity, I was certain she would do anything possible to bring me back home. You saw Aviva everywhere. She is a force of nature, and she will do anything for her family. What I did not know is that so many kind and wonderful people we had never met before, would stand by her side like guardians from the United States and across the world, supporting her and our family during the darkest times when we needed it the most. For us, the AJC team and community are a huge part of that group of guardians. Without your dedication, your efforts, and your strong collaboration with the Hostage Families Forum, we might not be standing here tonight. You went to Capitol Hill, you said our names, you refused to let the world forget. We also want to express our deepest gratitude to our brave soldiers who fought to bring the hostages home. And to the families of the soldiers, Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be blessed, those who paid the ultimate price. And now, thanks to all of these efforts, there are no more hostages being held in Gaza. Aviva and I and the hostage families are so deeply, genuinely grateful. Now we can begin to rebuild. Now we can begin to heal. And after everything we went through, being kidnapped, losing our home and everything we knew, we found ourselves asking, what now? We felt that we had given we felt that we had been given a different purpose, a new platform, one we never asked for, but one that we felt a responsibility to use. I've learned that healing doesn't come from standing still. It comes from moving toward something, toward others, toward purpose. This is why Aviva and I, we chose humanitarian action. We decided to join forces with IsraAid, Israel's largest humanitarian, non-governmental organization, because we believe this is Israel at its best. It was not at all surprising for us to learn that AJC and IsraAid have been long-time partners. Every time there has been a disaster somewhere in the world, including in Israel and the Middle East, IsraAid has been able to get there, to be first on the ground, thanks to AJC. It's because of AJC's support that IsraAid has been able to save lives and build bridges from Ukraine to Haiti to Puerto Rico and to Malawi. It's such an important part of my healing journey to be able to give something back, to give back to others who have also experienced extreme hardship. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. It's such an honor to be here and to say thank you to each of one and one of you. We've got family here that are sitting here with us, and we have you, and we have AJC. And I just want to say that so many days and so many meetings, we had to get up early in the morning and listen to who we're going to meet today. And while Jacob and all the people that were with us used to tell us who we're going to meet, I tried to remember the name. It was very difficult, but they knew everything about them, and it was just amazing. So thank you for focusing me and making me feel that I'm part of this whole thing of bringing them back home. And that's what we did. So I want to thank you. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. I'm standing here, and I'm alive. I'm standing here alive and still can't believe it. And even more than that, I'm standing next to Keith. So we're really the lucky ones, and I feel lucky. The kids and the grandchildren are doing everything they can for us to be happy, and we're doing everything for them to be happy after what we went through. But I do know that you all are family. We went through hell together. I know that Keith and I were hostages, but I know that you were with us every minute, because I felt it, and I know it, and I want to thank you again. So the hostages, some can talk, some can't, and we're still all healing. It's going to take time. We still have to figure out what we should do to feel better and just to move forward. So Keith and I decided together that there's nothing more important than doing everything we can for this world to be a better world. After being in Kakuma, a refugee camp in Kenya, and seeing what's going there, I think that it's the right decision for us to help not only Israel, but to help the world, to be their words, because they are speechless. And it's been something that I never ever thought that I'll be able to do. And I'm just so proud of Keith and so proud that we're able to help, just like you, because we all want this world to be a better world. What helped me a lot, I wrote a book of everything that happened there in the darkest place in Gaza. I wrote it for my grandchildren until I understood that I wrote it for everybody that's in this room and for everybody to read it. It's a witness, and it's a way that I feel that I'm lucky that I survived to tell you. So we have to continue, and we're going to do that, but we're doing it with so much love with you and with all the people around us. We can feel it wherever we go, and we really feel so lucky to be with all the good people that want this world to be together. So together, we're going to make this world be a better world and do everything we can. And like my daughter said every time she spoke, each and one of us, when we wake up in the morning, need to say that we did everything we could to bring the hostages home, and now to make the next generations have a better world wherever they live. Jews have to feel free wherever they are and be happy and just enjoy life. So I want to invite Ted, please, to come here. As we're waiting for him, does everybody know how special he is? So not only me and not only Keith, but everybody here and the whole world wants to thank you for your biggest heart that you have and what you're doing for this world. And we really, really, from our bottom of our hearts, want to thank you. We've got a present for you.